Hi everybody, I'm Keaton, and this is Kid Catholic with Season 5, Episode 7. And before we get into it, guys, don't forget to click the notification bell down below and the subscribe button. Share this video. Make sure your friends and family know about it. And let's get straight into today's topic, which is why is today's society so anti-Catholic? Here is a very good example. If a huge TV show on a network, huge network, let's say ABC, right, if they were to make an all-new sitcom with a Catholic or Christian main character, then they would be forcing their religion on people, right? And the media would go absolutely crazy because that would just be wrong. And why is this? Why do we get so much heat? Well, I think one of the things is the Catholic Church is the truth. You can trace the very first pope, which is Peter, all the way down to successor by successor by successor and trace it back to our current pope right now, Pope Francis. You can do the same with the apostles. You can trace apostle back down to the bishops that we have right now, to the bishops and priests, right? You can trace it back. We have apostolic succession, which is something that no other Christian denomination has. The Catholic Church has the truth, and to be honest, others, they can be scared of the truth. And not only that, but a lot of times they don't even know the truth. They think they have their own truth. So if you grow up believing something your entire life, then it can be hard to change. Like right now, if you grow up believing that chocolate is the best food ever in the entire universe, right? And nothing can change your mind about that. But you grow up later and you find a food that's 10 times better, it can be hard to admit that that food might not have been as good. That's how people with Catholicism are, right? Some of them just don't want to admit it. They find Catholicism, they might understand that it's the truth, but after believing something for your entire life and wanting to fit in with society, because with society it's not cool to be Catholic. So you want to fit in with society and you don't want to admit to yourself that Catholicism is the truth. That is the case with some who put heat on Catholicism. Some of them just don't know. Some of them don't know Catholicism. They don't know the truths, right? They hear maybe some people talk about it, but they never have an intellectual conversation. For example, some people think that we worship statues. That's a very common belief that Catholics worship statues, and we don't. A lot of people think that we do, and we don't. We don't worship statues. We've never worshipped statues. Nothing in our teaching in the entire history of the Catholic Church ever says that we worship statues. Yet for some reason, people assume that. People also assume that we worship the Virgin Mary, and we don't. We've never worshipped the Virgin Mary. She's incredible, and we look up to her, and we try to imitate her life, but we do not worship her. It's things like that where they don't know, and they don't find the time to just sit down and talk about it. Just sit down and talk about Catholicism, and that's what we need to do. Because arguing isn't going to help. Arguing and yelling at someone, think about it like this, right? If you get in trouble with your mom, and your kid watching this, if you get in trouble with your mom, and your mom's yelling at you, it's hard to listen, right? You kind of tone out because you know that you were wrong, but they're yelling, and it's hard to hear, it's hard to understand, it's hard to keep listening to, right? That is the same way with arguments about religion. If we keep yelling at people, if we keep arguing, then people aren't going to want to accept the truth. That's just fact. So we need to have an actual simple discussion with them, and we need to, like Catholics, kindly approach them and talk to them. Another thing is we need to set a good example. Catholics should be the kindest people on earth because we should all be imitating the saints and Jesus Christ. But sometimes we all sin. We all get angry. And maybe we have a public display of sin, which can be pretty bad, because if you're wearing a shirt that says, "I heart Jesus," and then you do a sin in public and others see it, and, that's showing a bad reputation for Catholics. And we do sin. It's something that we do. We ourselves sin. God does not put sin on us. We do it. So we're going to do it. But we need to try our best to set a good reputation for Catholics. I'm not sitting here saying only sin in private, never sin when others are around. You should always try to never sin. That's obvious. But we need to especially know that we need to set a good example. Everybody in the entire world is called to be a saint, right? Including you. You right now watching this, God wants you to be a saint. The God of the universe wants you to be a saint. Okay, wants you to get to heaven. And so we need to display that, whatever way it may be. I even said this last week. You don't have to sit down and do a 10-minute video on YouTube. You don't have to preach the world, talking to people all over the world, right? But you do need to tell others the truth, because I personally feel sorry for those who don't know the truth, or for those who maybe hear the truth but kind of tone it out because they want to fit in with society. It's sad. It really is sad. And I said this last week, the ultimate goal is to get to heaven. That's the ultimate goal at the end of the day, right? But that is not the only ultimate goal. It's also to get others to heaven in whatever way it may be, getting others up to heaven. And in order to do that, we're going to need to have a conversation with them. In fact, again, another quote from Michael Marchand a few videos ago, when I did an interview with him, something that he said that I want to point out again is that you may be mowing the lawn and have a smile on your face, which is good, which is a good way to sort of imitate Jesus, but you're not helping others get to heaven. Someone's not going to come up to you and say, "Oh, wow, you have a smile on your face. You sure look happy. I'm going to go to church now," right? That's it. That's exactly what Michael said. That's not going to happen. We actually need to have tough conversations with someone. Maybe you have a friend. Maybe you have a relative, right, who isn't willing to accept the truth. Listen, it may be awkward and may be hard, but we're going to need to face it because we need to get others to heaven. I had something that I've said in a past episode, several episodes ago. It might even been a year ago, and I haven't brought it up in a while, and I want to bring it up again. Right now, if we all go out and teach at least one person the truth, tell them the truth of Catholicism, if we each convert one person to Catholicism, every single Catholic converts one person to Catholicism, then the entire Catholic population will double. Think about that. Think about that. Here's a pretty sad statistic. For every one person who enters the church, multiple leave. For every one person, multiple leave, right? We cannot be letting that happen, guys. The apostles did such an incredible job of evangelizing, and we need to do that too. We need to tell others the truth, even if they're not willing to accept it. We need to tell others the truth and double our Catholic population. That should be all of our goal. Everybody, right now, you're going to listen to this video, you're going to click off, you're not going to do anything. No, I need you to do something. Go out and convert one person to Catholicism. I'm not asking you to do it by tomorrow, right? I'm asking you to do it by the end of your life. Convert one person to Catholicism. Please, tell others the truth. At least one person. At least one person. I kept forgetting to say at least before that, right? At least one person to Catholicism. This society, we need to completely change this society. This should be a society where we all adore and worship Jesus, and it's not. It makes me angry. It makes me sad that this is a society that is anti-Catholic. Let's change it. Let's change it. It starts with every single person. It doesn't start all of a sudden, but it starts with every single person going out and do something about it. So please, change this society. So now that the topic is done, do you guys know what it's time for now? It's time for the Saint of the Week. Now for the Saint of the Week. Okay, guys, so I decided to do something a little different and fun for this Saint of the Week. So, as you guys know, a holy day of obligation was very recently, November 1st, All Saints Day. So I decided, what a better way to do Saint of the Week than to do it on 20 different saints. Some of whom I've done before, but 20 different saints. Just say a little sentence about them. Not an entire Saint of the Week on all 20 saints, but there's so many saints that I made a list of all the saints, and I'm going to attempt to summarize them in like 5 seconds, just to get all 20 of them in there. Okay, so are you guys ready? Okay, here we go. Saint Peter, the very first Pope, denied Jesus 3 times. Awesome. He has an awesome Bible story. He's awesome. Saint Francis of Assisi loves animals. I went to Assisi. So much fun. Saint Clare of Assisi also went to Assisi to see her tomb. She was awesome. Saint Sebastian, patron saint of athletes. Awesome martyr. Saint Stephen, actually one of my twin brother's favorite saints used in the Bible. First martyr, actually, to appear in the Bible. Saint Paul, who helped to martyr Stephen before he was called Saul. Then he was blinded. God gave him the new name Paul, and he actually went and preached all over. Saint Joan of Arc, she was awesome. She led the French. She was an army, and actually she didn't And actually, in battle, when she led the army, she didn't kill anybody. St. Patrick, patron saint of Ireland. I love Ireland. I love watching cartoons of him when I was younger. He actually got kidnapped and taken over to Ireland. St. Therese of Lisieux, the little way, you can pray to her and ask her a question, and if you're lucky, you will get roses with the color of the answer that you're looking for. So if you have a question, you could say red for yes, orange for no, and some people have reported seeing red roses and orange roses just given to them on the street. St. John Paul II, he was awesome, very recent saint. He actually died the year I was born, so fun fact about him. He was a pope, and he actually canonized a lot of saints himself. St. Mary Magdalene, I absolutely love her story. She was a huge sinner, but repented to Jesus, and Jesus showed her extraordinary mercy. St. Isidore of Seville, I love him. He is actually the patron saint of the internet because he preached around to all of Africa. St. Kateri Tekakwitha, a hard name to pronounce, but an awesome American native saint. She was an Indian girl. She was incredible, extraordinarily brave. St. Joseph, the foster father of Jesus himself. He was awesome. He was an awesome husband to Mary. St. Thomas the Doubter, the one who actually touched the side of Jesus Christ when Jesus had that wound and he rose from the dead. Thomas doubted that it was him, so Jesus said, touch my wounds and see, and he did, and we actually got to see that finger when I was in Rome, the finger that touched Jesus, St. Thomas the Doubter's finger. St. Nicholas, Santa Claus himself. St. Anne, Mary's mother, the Blessed Virgin Mary, her mother. St. Helena, she is the mother to Constantine, and she actually found the one true cross. St. Juan Diego, he has an awesome story in Mexico. He is actually responsible for a lot of the conversion in Mexico. He had a tilma, undid his tilma, Blessed Virgin Mary appeared, roses fell out, even though it was dead winter, and no way there could be any roses. And St. Tarcisius, one of my personal favorites. He is the patron saint of altar boys, and he actually himself, he was martyred for bringing a host to the prisoners who were in prison there who couldn't have communion. So what do you guys think? Did I do a good job with all 20 of the saints? Some of them were longer than others. I tried to get in as much as I could. Now for the moral, saints have such an impact on people's lives around them. We need to imitate the saints, right? We need to pray through the saints. We need to imitate them. We need to ask for their help anytime we're struggling with anything. Because think about it, the saints were humans, just like you and I. They were humans. They felt the same pain, right? When they get a knee scrape, it's the same feeling as when you get a knee scrape, right? They were humans. They are human, just like you and I. So if they did it, if they got to heaven, if they had such extraordinary stories, we can too. So guys, before you go anywhere, don't forget to go check out my website, kidcatholic.com. We have awesome things on there. Go check it out. Also guys, make sure you have your notifications on for new videos. Please click the red subscribe button down below. Share this video. Please share this video. Make sure your friends and family know about it. Please click the like button down below. Don't forget to check out all 3 of my social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The link to all 3 of those will be in the description and in the comments below, so check that. Don't forget to comment any saint or topic suggestions that you might have for future videos, and I think we covered about everything. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week, and hi Brio!